I'm Delaney Ruston, primary care physician and creator with Lisa Tabb of the 4 Screenagers movies. And this is Parenting in the Screen Age, a show about discovering the best ways to help our youth and ourselves navigate our rapidly changing digital world. In the past 2 episodes, we featured parents who wanted to make a meaningful change in how they use technology. Each of them took on our One Small Change Challenge, committing to a 2-week experiment to shift a specific tech habit. And as it happened, all 3 chose to focus on their phone use. Now we're following up with each of these women, Hillary, Lisa, and Tori, to see how their challenges went. Did their small tech change go as planned? What did they learn? And did they involve their kids in the process to help model healthy habits? To guide their efforts, they followed a framework called DARTS, designed to increase the likelihood of achieving a personal goal. Many of you tuned into the last episode, so I know you know about DARTS, but let me just quickly review it here. D is for doable, choose a small, realistic target. A is for range, set up one's environment to make success more likely. R stands for reasons, stay connected to one's motivation for why to make a change. T is for treats, reward oneself along the way to reinforce these habits. And S stands for support, build in support you need to keep going. And when we have our kids support us, even better. And just FYI, DARTS comes out of our Screenagers program called Boosting Bravery, a peer-to-peer program that schools can use for free. You can check it out at boostingbravery.com or find it through the Screenagers website. And spoiler, not everyone stuck the landing. One of our guests didn't quite manage to make the change she hoped for, but what she learned along the way was meaningful. And you'll see how it helped her to rethink things. We'll start with Hillary. She's a mom who had fallen into the habit of parking in her garage and sitting in her car to scroll through social media before going in the house. Her goal was simple but powerful. Stop the scroll and head straight into the house. So I asked her, how did it go? You had a doable goal and you had decided you wanted to do it every day rather than less than that. It was going to be an all or none. How did it go?
You know, I have to say I was very diligent and I was very successful.
Wonderful. Okay, let's get to the heart of this then. So arrange things. Did you do anything specific other than just say you're going to get out of the car? Or did you set up things to make that new habit easier?
Yes, I put a sticky note on the dashboard that just said stop.
Perfect. And when you got into your house in terms of arranging for not just immediately going on social media in the house, because we talked about that in the last episode, what happened when you got in the house?
Oh, well, typically when I get in the house, life gets, life starts going. So I think that was not the challenge. The challenge was just in moving me through.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Arrange, you had that reminder. And then for the reasons, did you end up reminding yourself of reasons along the way or anything like that?
I did not write them out specifically on the card, but the sticky note served 2 purposes. Just by saying stop, it was also kind of a reminder of I don't want my daughter seeing me doing this, because I didn't want to model that behavior. So that was enough of a reminder.
And then T, did you give yourself any treats along the way?
No, I didn't.
Okay. That's okay. Well, then we get to support. And maybe part of the treat was saying to your family or friends, the support, whoever that was, that you were doing it. So tell me about the supports.
Sure. Okay. So I have a wonderful next door neighbor who she and I walk weekly. And somehow just kind of going public with this was also its own form of support. So that,
accountability.
Exactly. Yeah. So I involved her, I involved my daughter, and then I have a group of friends that we discuss parenting issues and technology a lot. And so we also talked about that.
Do you remember talking with your friend when you were walking, just how that went? Or did you actually bring it up a few times during the 2 weeks?
Oh yeah, she checked in on me, and at first it was a big funny thing of like, it's always kind of embarrassing to say, hey, so I've been doing this thing that's really not great. But then she liked the fact that she was going to be my trusted resource.
Exactly. I write a lot and talk a lot about that. What a gift it is to be asked to support someone. It's not a burden. If you're not saying, come and clean my house every day, that's not what you're saying. You're saying like, I value your help, support. I value you. And so I'm not at all surprised she was tickled and pleased to help. Do you, Hillary, think that you influenced anyone either to actually try to make a new change for themselves regarding their tech time, whether in your family or outside of your family?
Okay, so I think just by fact of bringing it up conversationally with other people who, like I said, are in my parenting circle or others around, I think that caused them to kind of do a little self-check on how they were using their devices as well. So I do believe it had kind of a ripple effect.
And any conversations with your daughter along the way?
When she noticed, like, oh, the garage door closed and I came walking right in, she'd say, oh, I see you're hitting your goals.
They like to be in that position, not all the focus on them of what they should be doing better and blah, blah, blah. And it is such
Right.
a valuable experiment to do in the home, to be so open and to have these specific steps. Talking to her about darts just plants that seed in her head that there are different strategies people can try to take on a new habit.
Yeah. And I think, not just applying it to tech, but applying it across the board. I mean, I think it's a great thing you can generalize,
Yeah. No, I use it a lot for people who want to start exercising again. For example, they've lost the habit for a long time. And I really start with doable, really teeny. I say first thing in the morning, just 5 minutes. You want to do 2 times a week, 3 times? And I go, I really want you to actually crave wanting to do more. We have to get that part of the brain activated, as opposed to often people start the other way, right? They do too much, then they don't create the habit. And therefore, then things will come in the way and they won't maintain it. And speaking of maintaining, Hillary, what is your thoughts now about moving forward?
Well, I would like to maintain. I mean, I would like to just keep on doing what I'm doing. And I think it shouldn't be too hard because it kind of has broken that habitual reach. I think that's a little bit of the insidious part of technology, is that it is so accessible, it's so compelling, and we use it so often without intention. And so this was just putting in a few steps to build that intention of just like, remember, you want to be in control of this thing, not allow it to be in control of me.
Let me just ask a question, because I'm wondering if it makes sense to give yourself another 2-week period so that you still celebrate it, just to really cement this new habit.
This is what I fear happening. I can see being fine with this until, like you said, something might happen where I just, because of the business side of running our social media page, I can see me thinking, oh, I'll just take care of this right here. And that's where I can see those like little creeping windows back in. I think because it was like, nope, I've got 2 weeks and I knew I was going to talk to you. And I was like, no, I'm going to get an A on the assignment. I'm not.
Right.
But my concern, my concern is the backslide, because I can see that happening with me, to be very honest with you.
Another technique that can be really helpful is to really focus and mark in some certain way the benefits that you're getting from this habit change. So when you're going in the house and you're having that time and all of a sudden you catch yourself going, oh, this is fun. Just, maybe you have your calendar, or maybe you say something to the family. You really want to not just cement giving up a habit, but the fact that you've now adopted a new habit of having this new time, this extra time that you would have lost and you will lose if you go back to car scrolling.
Mm-hmm. Car scrolling. That's exactly what it is.
And the other thing, of course, is you're going to still be walking with your friend. So I bet this will come up and you could have it be the start of every month. Like, okay, I'm really going to commit to the start of every month to tell you how it's going. Just think about some sort of check-in thing that you can be putting in place. And obviously talking with your daughter along the way. And if you start to backslide, to go to her and say, shoot, I've noticed I'm doing a little bit more of the car scrolling, or I completely slipped yesterday. What do you think? What would you recommend? Such a gift to her to be the expert, to be the confidant, to be the problem solver. So consider that as well.
Yeah, I will, for sure.
Well, Hillary, thank you so much for this follow-up. It's great. I'm so glad you're feeling good about the change.
Yes, well, thank you for helping me enact it.
Next, we'll catch up with Lisa, who was in last week's episode. Of note, I had recorded the interview earlier, and so she did have a full 2 weeks to do her challenge. Her challenge had to do with the fact that she used to keep her phone out of her bedroom at night, but she had started to have it with her in her bedroom and to use it at night and first thing in the morning. Her goal was to go back to having her phone be out of her bedroom at night.
Overall, how did that go?
It went really well.
Okay. So what had you done to arrange? Did you have a substitute of what you were going to do rather than have your phone by your bed?
No, because it's just like my regular plan, which is I always read before bed.
Did you have a good book?
Yeah, I'm 50% of the way through.
Okay, so then did you put reasons anywhere in the house?
You know what I didn't? I just kept this little sticky that I had taken notes on. I think I was motivated enough that I just wanted to make that change.
Great. What about the treat aspect? Did you do any like high five, any treat for yourself, just feel good ultimately, or do anything at the end of a week or the 2 weeks?
No, I think the treat was better sleep.
Yes, it's just a natural treat, a natural consequence because you were ultimately sleeping better.
Yes.
And then for support, what was your goal for support? Or what had you thought and what ended up happening?
So there were two things. One was like an accountability calendar, and the other was asking for supporters, my friends. I was going to ask them. So the accountability calendar, I just started like filling it out in the morning and at night around how I slept, what time I put it away. It was quite detailed. And then once I got into a rhythm, I stopped recording it because then I felt was like in a habit mode. Mm-hmm. And I had gone out for dinner with my friends. I told them I was doing this.
How did the mornings go then? So you weren't checking your phone and then being cozy in bed and staying on it longer than you wanted. You got out of bed, you would check your phone? Still pretty quickly?
Not even sometimes. Mm-hmm. Like I actually didn't always. I do sometimes I don't want to say this is cheating, but sometimes I don't like to work in bed at night, but when work gets busy, sometimes I do have my laptop. So I may be able to text, but like I'm not on social media. And so if my laptop's there in the morning, I may open it. But no, I got up and I started a new workout program. And not that I wasn't working out before, I just wasn't as rushed. So I was just getting into my workouts quicker and getting downstairs. And sometimes I'd even forget the phone in the office.
Wow, wonderful. How did it go with the kids? Did your two boys, did they ask about it? Did you mention it now and then over the 2 weeks?
I just kind of announced it sometimes at night. Like I was like, oh, well, I don't sleep with my phone in my room anymore. But no, like one of my sons keeps it in the office too. So both of us keep it in the office and he likes not having it in his room. Like I think he knows it's a distraction. I think I'm getting closer to getting my husband to have it out of the room, but we're not there yet.
Neat. And are you going to continue with this new target goal that you achieved?
Yes, definitely. I just feel like it's better sleep. It's less wasted time. I feel better about it. You know, I got through more of my book, which was like more relaxing to me.
What a difference. You were saying prior you had been really having to rush through your workouts and then starting the day like that, as opposed to now, it sounds like you really made your mark, you really hit it, and you're feeling good. It's really exciting.
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, Lisa, this has been great. Thank you so much for doing this debrief on how it all went, this experiment. And I'm just super pleased to have gotten all these insights from you and your experiences.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for putting me up for the challenge and supporting me.
More after this break. Before we dive back in, I wanted to let you know about our 4 Screenagers documentaries, which focus on helping kids and teens navigate the challenges of this digital age. We created these films to be screened in schools and at community events. Over 20,000 hosts have shown them thus far. Along with the movies, we provide discussion guides, promotional materials, and other tools so that you can easily organize a truly impactful event for your community. And if your school wants to use the movies in the classroom, we have options for that too, along with a full curriculum of lesson plans designed for various grade levels. To learn more about the movies or inquire about becoming a host, visit screenagersmovie.com. There's a link in the show notes. Now back to the show. Now let's turn to Tori. Her original plan was to carve out a 30-minute phone-free, quote, brain break 3 days a week, a quiet time to connect with her 10-year-old daughter right after school. With 2 older teenagers, Tori was especially eager to create focused space time for her youngest. But things didn't go quite as planned. And that's perfectly okay. In fact, Tori took it as an opportunity to pivot and re-strategize. Let's hear how things unfolded.
Well, it didn't go very well. It was during that period of time, we have 3 kids, and a lot of logistics happen in that little window. And all of our logistics tend to come through our phone. So whether it's getting an update from a team or update from a parent that you're doing carpooling with, or an update from your child as well. So unfortunately, I was not very successful. And then the first week, I actually got hit with a cold that was pretty bad. So it just wasn't even doable the first week.
Yeah. The first day, did you talk to your daughter about, okay, I'm going to try this, and then boom, you realize, oh shoot, I have to check my phone? Or what happened in that situation?
Yeah. So after we chatted, because you and I chatted, and then I tried to start it the next week, she and I had a really great chat. So she's 10 years old, and she actually went and created a little phone case for me out of paper, and it was my brain break case, and we were super excited about it. Then the first week I got sick. The second week I tried to do it, and I had my notifications still on, so maybe that wasn't a good idea. But I'd let people in my life know that I was trying to take that break, so my husband and our business partner. But it was all the other items. So a notification from the team, the notification from a parent that I hadn't anticipated how many come through in that half an hour.
Tori, how did you get those if the phone was in its brain break case?
Yeah, good question. It was so over on the side of the kitchen, but the notification, like the sound, was still happening.
And had you turned that off, it sounds like it would have been a problem because you really needed it as a tool for communication of managing the kids after school.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So I tried to do it for kind of that Monday to Thursday. And then by the Thursday, it was a conversation of, wow, this really isn't working. And then got into a conversation of, okay, maybe there's a better time of day. Maybe this just isn't realistic. Like I felt like, ironically, that it just wasn't doable in that half an hour.
Yeah. And so often that is a problem, is that the actual target is the problem. And so this is perfect to be stymied, to realize that. And that is important information for regrouping and trying something different. I'm curious, before we go to that, because you learned, and I think you've maybe have a new plan of attack at some point. What was the conversation like with your daughter around this and your other kids?
Yeah, so at that time of day, our other 2 children who are 14 and 16 aren't typically home from 3 to 3:30 yet. So it was just our daughter, who's 10. And I was very frustrated with myself. And I felt my daughter was much more, Mom, it's not that big a deal. Everyone's on their phones. Why are you making such a big deal out of this? And it was this kind of circle of me being frustrated, and I think her not wanting to have that frustration be a part of our half an hour.
Yep. Good point. So it was either being on the phone, the frustration, and now this situation, you were frustrated and on the phone, although you had been frustrated and on the phone prior. So it was like, how can we ideally have less of the logistical after school? So that could be one technique there, because no matter what, if you don't have this rule, I know how much you've talked about how precious that time is. You'd really love to get to focus with her on that. Did you put reasons up in the house?
You know what? I didn't. I just put brain break. I talked about the reasons, but I didn't actually visually put them up.
And so you talked to your family at an evening or something?
Yeah. And I'd say we're trying to make, talking about technology more a regular thing. Having the interview was great with you because it was a catalyst for me to update the family on what I'd done that day. So it was a very natural progression. It wasn't just me sitting there, preaching. So it was great.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And I think for families that do commit to once a week Tech Talk Tuesdays or something like that, just to make it be fun to talk about something interesting about technology. And then sometimes it doesn't even have to be all the time, something. So it can be a part of a talk that a family has, a discussion. So you were having the discussions with them, like, I'm trying to do this, but oh, shoot, it didn't go well. Did you end up having that kind of discussion? Because ultimately, that's what we're trying to model to them, that changing behavior, this is a model trying to do it, and then it didn't go so well, and this is my frustration because change is hard. And then ultimately what I learned about it. I'm curious what of those things you felt like you got to talk with them about.
Yeah, so initially it was just with my daughter. I had those 3 or 4 days. And then after that, brought it back to, we typically try to have dinner together a couple times a week. It doesn't always work out because of, sports and et cetera. But expressed my frustration and then brainstormed a bit of when would be a better time of day. And the interesting thing as well, too, is to hear from the kids that they just kept reiterating, Mom, you're just so worried about all of this. And I think that has been a really good catalyst for me to do a bit of a deep dive into helping them understand why I'm so worried. And that's actually where I've kind of taken a break from talking with them and doing a bit of a deep dive into the research around dopamine and all the different things that start to happen. Mm-hmm. So because of my kind of failure, I've realized that I think I just keep saying the same thing over and over to them, but it's not having an impact.
Yeah.
I'm just really expressing this frustration, like, you can't do this. It's, this isn't great for your brains. This isn't, and it's not being effective communication.
Excellent. Excellent. So thinking through other communication ways to talk about why having breaks and what are the costs of using technology in certain ways at certain times is something that you're thinking to do more of as you move forward, because this is going to be many conversations over many years.
Absolutely. Where we've netted out is the brainstorm of, between the 5 of us, we kind of brainstormed when would be a good time. And I think the path of least resistance was really after dinner. And typically we've actually already started to make a bit of a habit of, not everyone in the family, but try to get the majority of the family down and either doing homework or reading or just being in the same space together without the technology that is pulling them away and distracting, if it's kind of that effective tool of homework. So I would say that this kind of failure that I had has sparked other conversations, which has been really neat.
Really good. And then the support really for DARTS, DARTS, we said treats. Had you talked to them about treats?
So the treat that I had said was the pickleball game from our last thing. Mm-hmm. And I have a pickleball game scheduled for this Sunday.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So it's good to have that in the calendar.
Exactly. Well, thank you, Tori, so very much. This has been great to revisit how it went. And did this lead you to think of doing anything else, trying a new DARTS?
Yeah. So what I am in the midst of trying right now is from 7:30 to 8 p.m., 3 times a week, of having the phone completely out of sight. And things I learned from last time is I have notifications off. I feel much better about that time because that time of day I can truly disconnect. And we're on Wednesday and I've done it Monday, Tuesday so far. And it's just been so much easier. It's been completely doable. And then it's also been fun to have light, quick conversations with my kids about, like, hey, look at me, 7:30 to 8, so it's been great.
Great. And so just really doing it for a 2-week period. That's what I really work with my patients, so that you have that sense and you can reboot it. But what happens if we don't have any kind of end goals, often it just will start to fade away. Whereas if we're consciously doing an intake at certain intervals until it really becomes a habit, that can increase the chance of it lasting longer.
Perfect. Thank you for being a catalyst for helping me make some change.
A heartfelt thank you to Hillary, Tori, and Lisa for joining us on the show and sharing their experiences around changing their screen time habits. It's inspiring to hear their journeys and the progress they've made. I wish them all the best as they continue on this path. If you're looking to improve your own relationship with your phone or other technology, I encourage you to explore our show notes at screenagersmovie.com to learn about the DARTS method. What a gift that you chose to tune into the show today. The Screenagers movement is all about doing this work together. If you want to learn how to spark collective action by bringing one or more of our 4 Screenagers movies to your school, workplace, or other setting, visit screenagersmovie.com. At the website, you'll also find my weekly parenting blog, Tech Talk Tuesdays, now in its 10th year, and use the search bar to get answers from hundreds of blogs and countless other resources on the site. Finally, I love hearing from you, so email me at delaney@screenagersmovie.com. What ideas do you have for future episodes? Today's show was produced by the following people: me, your host, Delaney Ruston, Lisa Tabb, Rebecca Tolan, and Robbie Carver. Sound design and mixing was also by Robbie.